Next up comes the ID selector. If you want to style HTML elements uniquely, then you can give it an ID using an ID attribute. The value of the ID attribute can be anything you want, any name. I gave a name of unique. And an ID attribute is similar to a class attribute. But with a difference that the same ID, like this same ID, cannot be applied to multiple elements. Here, for a class, it was possible to give this same class para1 to two different paragraphs. Remember, we have seen this in our last lesson. We gave the para1 class to two different paragraphs. But this is not possible using an ID selector. You can't give the same ID to multiple elements. And ID selector can be used once per page. So to select an element with its ID, we write a hash sign first, then followed by the ID of the element. Then goes our styling part, the property and the value of it. Okay, so now let's use this ID selector. First, let's give our this paragraph, third paragraph, an ID using the ID attribute, ID, and yeah, let's give a value of name. Let's save it. And then now let's use this ID attribute to style our paragraph. Hash sign, then our ID name, name, then goes the brackets. Let's give our paragraph a background color of this light blue color. Let's save it and refresh our page here. Yes, we have got the light blue. So ID selector can be used once per page and is unique. You cannot repeat the same ID name again and again in multiple elements. So let me next let me show you how to comment in CSS. So commenting in CSS is different than in how we did in HTML. So in H1 in CSS we do it in this way. First we give a /, then a star, then write element selector, whatever text you want. Selector, and then to close this comment, star, and then again this /. Yes, that's how we comment in CSS. And then let's give another comment here. Here let's write universal selector, because this is a universal selector, right? Let's give a hit /* star. And, for ending the comment, star, a /. So here let's do again. This is for the class selector. And then another one here, ID selector. Yes,